Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
We're all here, as is Heist now. Welcome back to Metaphor ReFantazio. Last time we gained ourselves a new party member, and a new archetype, and a new bond. And also we found out that Morris was kidnapping people to feed to monsters, and also the leader of this town might be in on it. In fact, very likely isn't it. No pressure at all for us to resolve the situation.
It's in your hands.
So, this is officially the start of the deadline to beat Crigante Castle. Now, important note is, it is nowhere near as long as the Grand Cathedral dungeon. However, there are still things you can do to increase your chances, and I'll be going into that today. So, yeah, we have to go to the Blindwell Alley to delve into the castle underground, but we can also strengthen our party by taking on requests or improving bonds with followers. I should actually mention on that note, it's actually possible to get Maria to rank 8 during this arc, and the ultimate healer archetype is insanely powerful if you get it this early. So if you've got a magic build on Will, that might be a good idea.
The search begins.
Really?
And also, everything's on sale! It's an Idols Day, and you know what that means?
What were the gods doing?
They were the ones guilty of the whole conspiracy, or at least Morris was. But anyway, now that this place is open, I can finally turn in the bounty from the Goblin King. So yeah, you people can at least sleep a little bit safer at night. Of course, we still haven't quite dealt with the kidnapping incident.
We did it.
We get a bit of money from that. Again, it would be more efficient to do this after raking up Katharina's bond, but we're not going to be able to do that until the next arc, so may as well get this money now. We also get some more courage, and in fact, yes, that's rank 2 in courage. Nice.
Courage. Why, that's...
Yes, why that's. Also, yeah, completing bounties does increase your popularity a little bit. All it really does is just give you more mag from the rock.
Come on!
What do you think of this?
Something strong escaped from the Grand Cathedral's mausoleum back in the capital. Some high and mighty nobles looking for someone who can take it down. So, this is not an official request from the army, so it's not a bounty, but it is a side quest that I will be completing.
Yeah.
And this is basically the game's way of informing you that sometimes you might want to go back to earlier cities to see what quests are going on there. However, I'll be saving that until later because we also have a new bounty, the Alpha Rockworm Valmo.
What do you think of this?
Spotted in a cave away from Maneater. A miner was eaten, so now a whole lot of fearing for their lives. Well, I mean, hopefully that miner can get to the anus fast enough.
Hey!
So the Maneater, Maneater's Grotto. Chimero's on the way, so yeah, we can stock up there if you want to. Okay, so this whole region does rely on that industry, so yeah, helping them out is going to be a huge boon to the people of this region.
Good hunting to you.
Might also help them support us for our bid for the throne.
Let's do it.
And we have to bring back its eye, apparently. So yeah, just past Chimero, there we go. It's still only a one-day trip, though.
We'll face danger here.
Unlike
Right
the
there,
Abandoned
yeah.
Tomb, which is gonna take longer, but, so here's the
We'll
thing.
face danger here.
Here's the thing. I have today free, which means I can afford to do a dungeon today, and lose the nighttime. However, I cannot afford to lose the nighttime for the next 3 nights, the 6th, 7th, and 8th, because of a little something called debates at the podium.
Alright.
Now, what this means is, I could go to Blindwell Alley and just do this dungeon, like, take care of this whole dungeon this day, totally free to do that, and that's fine. However, I would be doing that if it weren't for one thing. In the Alpha Rockworm Valmo dungeon, there is a stealable item from some of the enemies there that will really help against the Crigante Castle boss. And I want to show that off. This does mean I will be putting off doing Crigante Castle for a decent length of time, but I think it will be worth it. Because this is actually something that I found out from the Metaphor guidebook. If we go to the engine room corridor, are they doing this yet? Yeah, see, there's a journal here. Read the Maneater entry. According to the old man's research, one of the relics can be found southeast of Maneater, where the dreadful grotty man-eating cave is supposed to be. So, yeah, there are hints to which dungeons Neuras's relics are in if you check that journal.
Right.
The thing is, Gallica is gonna tell you anyway, whenever you go into a dungeon, that it has one of the relics, so it's not super useful, but it might be interesting if you're, like, for example, just arrived in a new area or don't have the dungeons on your map yet. Might be a good idea just to indicate what dungeons you should keep an eye out for in requests. But, today, we are heading to the Maneater's Grotto.
I think we have a favor to do there.
Yes, we have a favor to do there.
There's much to see.
Yeah, so let's not be focused on gold fever or getting
It's
jewels,
your call.
as much as I'd kind of like to level up Heisme and Merchant.
Great. Let's move out. They head to a cave said to consume all who enter. Does the dark, narrow path lead only to the innards of a monstrous insect? Perhaps.
Oh no, not again.
What to pick?
So, on the road, we don't have any follower bonds that we can do here. Okay, Heisme's here, but he's not available for a Royal Virtue activity. He's kind of more of a nighttime guy. Alright, I should also check the pantry, but I'm not going to reload for gauntlet shrooms this time. I'll take what I get.
This is...
Just sugar and salt. But yeah, as there are no real follower bonds to do today, I'm going to go ahead and read something. I've already finished that, so let's go over Pride and Persuasion to get some eloquence. See, when I first, saw that title, I thought this was a Pride and Prejudice parody. It's probably not. This is way more of, a how to win friends and influence people parody, if anything. I don't even really know what's in that book apart from its title. Yeah, ways to ensure others will agree with you. First impressions are vital when it comes to negotiations. Lower the person's guard by assuming a natural smile and humble demeanor, then use flattery to probe for weak points. This is like the anti-neurodivergent socializing guide, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
The best answer here is to gain the upper hand.
Sure.
No kidding.
I had a feeling that, Will would like the nicer of those three options. Yeah, this whole thing about, somewhat underhanded persuasion tactics kind of makes me think of, oh boy, I'm really behind on eloquence. That will change soon, though. But yeah, reminds me of that one, Sonic, Tails Tube thing with, that was one of those rare times where I'm gonna be one of those elitists, so Sonic wouldn't act like that. Cause,
The party at last are blessed by it game as though...
Giving it some thought?
Cause, as much as that, manipulative tactic on, asking for more and then bargaining down works for Rouge, Sonic implicitly approving of it, I don't think really fits his character. And, using it on Tails. I know it's a joke, but that didn't sit right with me personally. Anyway, we have the option of whether or not to stop in Camaro, and, it's not gonna cost time, so I might as well see if there's anything we can buy. Yes, little town, it's a quiet village every day like the one before.
Now then.
We can make a little bit of money off of that one Heisme Force fight. They have not restocked those. Cures paralysis. Let's just put our sugar up to an even 10. That could be okay for some out-of-battle healing. Okay, here we go. Yeah, Soothing Vial. Prevents rage, prevents paralysis, strength +3. Okay, so they're not selling the thing that we can steal off of those flowers. Good to know. It is a sale, though, and I feel like I probably should get one of each of these just so that it won't come back to bite me later.
Alright.
Yeah, let's go back to base. Is going to warp us back to town. Let's continue the trip.
Maneater's Grotto. How many weary travelers, traveling merchants, and treasure hunters have fallen prey to it? Behind its innocuous-looking entrance, untold monsters lie in wait, impatient for their next meal. The gauntlet runner comes to a stop, the entrance beckoning its visitors invitingly. What lies in its depths? Treasure or death?
I love Moore's narration so much. I mean, he's a storyteller. It does make sense.
All right.
I'm also kind of surprised that we didn't get ambushed on the road by Elementers.
Understood?
Okay, yeah, we got this theme here. This is actually a generic dungeon theme I don't think we've heard yet.
Finish it, quick!
That's one of your generic battle lines. Stroll is very, very passionate about killing these worms. I think also he just never wants to go through that whole get to the anus scenario ever again. Yeah, here it is. So this is Gallica saying that one of Neurus's relics is here. Or at least it's not Neurus's relic yet, but it's the relic that he's looking for. So before we go in there, I'm going to go to Moore because, well, I mean, you know, I don't actually need to do this. I can do this from the menu, but, like, let's visit Moore. He gets lonely after we got his rank 2.
Ah, right.
And from here, I am going to study a new archetype on Heisme. And that archetype is Merchant.
I see.
Every time that, like, he says I see, I think he's going to say a strong persona indeed. I mean, it's funny that you say that because the actual quotes for switching to Merchant are not all that positive sounding.
Effort is key.
But yeah, we can, do we swap to that now? Let's not swap to that now, because I do need to steal some things. Kind of ironic having both Thief and Merchant on the same character, but then I guess some people would consider them to be both the same thing. Heisme is gonna need Seeker eventually, so maybe and he's also gonna need Gunner eventually. I mean, he's actually gonna need Mage eventually too. In fact, of all of these, like, archetypes that are currently available, the only one that he is not going to need for his ultimate archetype eventually, is Healer and Brawler. Which is a shame, because Heisme's quotes for Brawler are actually amazing.
With skill, UG fists can be as assassin's needles.
I'll get Seeker for now. I think I'll hold off on Gunner, because I'm pretty sure that I haven't unlocked Neurus's option that makes Gunner cheaper. Okay, that's kind of a generic quote, but it's fine.
My edge.
Now, I said before that I was saving a bunch of these items for when we got our next party member. Also, let's just give Heisme even more speed, and, Hulkenberg more endurance. And I think I'm going to do that. So, Merchant, I am going to be shoving a lot of these archetype items into Heisme's Merchant, because I need a level 15 Merchant for Moore's Bond.
My power swells forth.
Okay, we reached level 13 that way. So just 2 more levels on Heisme. But for now, I think I will stay on Thief. And now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go and get my guidebook, because my metaphor guidebook that has the weaknesses of all the enemies in this dungeon listed is downstairs, because I edit downstairs but I record upstairs. So yeah, I was cross-referencing things on my archetype bios just to make sure that I had all the correct answers marked correctly. But yeah, see you back here once I have my guidebook. Okay, this dungeon's not great for my physical build will, because not only are there no physical weaknesses here, there's a decent number of enemies with physical resistances and immunities. There are, however, a few wind weaknesses, so if I wasn't using Heisme and Thief, I'd put him in Seeker, but, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world to have you as a Seeker. I'd normally put Stroll as Seeker, but I really want to keep leveling Warrior because I've unlocked Swordmaster, I may as well use it. So yeah, you're actually going to end up going to Seeker.
The freedom of a
Some
wanderer.
people in the comments have been wondering if Seeker's a bad class if I haven't been using it. It's just a lot better on magic or hybrid wills than physical, but it can still serve me well here. We'll want Blizz Inheritance on as many people as possible. And, oh, with Seeker I can actually put Psych onto Thief. Though Lucky Find's not a bad idea either. But I think I will actually put Psych on Thief right now. I'll be hopping between Thief and Merchant on Heisme, as... depending on the enemies that I'm facing. So okay, let's get in there.
Let's go.
Hopefully we don't end up going into any anuses this time. Why am I still on that? It's just because, like whoever wrote that objective name is just like they deserve a raise, seriously. So, I wonder if this is anything important. So the gimmick of this dungeon is there are a lot of ledges to drop down. And, okay, yeah, these are the flowers I was talking about. But there are also some worms here, so we've got to be a little careful. Oh, look at it, it's so tiny. Looks weirdly cute, actually. I mean, I'm sure Hulkenberg herself would say that. Like, seriously, it's so small! I mean, not to Heisme, it's like a Heisme size, but he's small.
We're evenly matched. Guess we'd better...
Juvenile Rockworm Valmo is weak to ice. Let's see what I can steal from it. No items at all. Well.
Hit your weak point.
Is everyone alright? Let me
Never got one. Who's next?
Okay, I have Tetra Break now. Okay, these things resist all physical, so, I was gonna be like, I could finally show Horse-Drawn Carnage, but no. I was like, what's Will gonna do? And I'm like, oh wait, I actually did inherit Blizz onto him. Okay, so I just realized that because Heisme just joined the party, he is defaulted to the front row and then has to change, because objectively it's best to just put everyone in the back row.
What now?
So, Heisme, go in the back.
I see.
You, though... There we go. You are the thing that I need to steal from, and I will explain what that is. It's... these things, like, it's just so... like, they're like a combination of plants and spiders, which might be particularly terrifying for some people. But yeah, they are weak to fire. However,
I can't afford to hold back.
here, okay, that's a little problematic because I need to get their steal.
the enemy.
They are still stunned
I
though.
defer to you.
Brace yourself.
Please.
Okay, yeah, they can debuff your hit and evasion, and they can also, yeah, do a lot of area damage. Normally, I would tear through these things. However, I need to get the steal. There it is! Garlic Aromatics! That's what I needed, now you can die.
Stroll, you gotta aim better than that.
If Stroll can aim better than that.
Oh, shards of ice.
You have to nullify?
Oh, interesting. Okay, Null's Ice. Oh, that's actually really bad.
Heal up.
Candera.
Sit down. Someone, help him back up.
Yeah, this is what happens when you don't have the constraint. You know what? I'm pretty sure these can't miss. There we go. Yeah, this is what happens when you're not, like, annihilating the enemy on the first turn.
Okay?
But the Garlic Aromatics prevent daze, which is an ailment used by the boss of Crigante Castle. This is entirely why I went here. Yeah, I have to switch to healer and go Patra to get rid of that. Okay, while this has less evasion, it also prevents malady and gives strength and magic +1. And I hate removing this from Heisme, because clearly this came from his wife or son, but agility boosts the odds of stealing, so I'll take that. Meanwhile, Hulkenberg will take the paralysis immunity. And now we proceed, and can't get that, but I can grab this though. So, hello there, random merchant. Worldly adventurer. The numbing pollen attack. Burn the things with fire. They're not so fond of, well, yeah, we could kind of, you know, they're a plant. We could kind of tell that. Actually, though, see, as strong as the scrap metal... oh, actually, I could have purified that at the church today. But I'm going to actually take that just for the fire element. Yeah, I'll take fire inheritance on Will as well. But yes, let's go. Also, this thing right here, we fought these inside the Great Worm's stomach.
Pierce attacks won't
They're weak to ice and electricity, and they drain fire and completely null everything physical, which is actually kind of dangerous at this point. Let's see what you have. Yeah, it's also kind of cool to know from, like, looking at one of the, one, like, looking at some of, like, that one Steam page on Metaphor ReFantazio, like, damage calculations, that once you have 98 agility, I believe it is impossible to fail a steal unless the enemy has nothing. Now, hopefully I don't go through too much MP by the time I get to the boss. Unlike the Goblin Dungeon, this one you'll know exactly when the boss is coming.
Is that the end then?
Yes, it is the end for them. So yeah, with that we have some stairs leading down and a jump downable. Well, actually no, not a jump downable ledge, a climb upable.
I see the enemy.
Slope. Yeah, I pressed the dodge button a little too late. Okay, well, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. Yeah, I was going to say at least it's not using numbing pollen. Well, nobody got paralyzed that time. Okay, using Knight's Proclamation against something that uses electric. Probably a bad idea. Yeah, I just had to end that fight and content myself with not stealing anything. I'm actually going to put Hulkenberg in healer entirely so that I have access to Patra. So, from here, we have access to multiple different jump down points. And we also have a teeth. Higher rank enemies? Yes, yeah, I know that. We'll get super buff. Yeah, they're talking about experience scaling here. It's kind of cool that there is actually, like, an in-game explanation of experience scaling. Oh, Heismay's still paralyzed. There are some games where ailments persist outside of battle and others where they don't. Like, I can't believe that when I was playing, like, Persona Q2, I was like, why isn't there, like, any items that do that? Oh, right. It's because ailments don't persist outside of battle in these games. So, there's also a crawl-through space that we can go here, but also, this chest is marked on our map.
Nice.
And fortunately, Gallica sensing something in the chest is not an ominous warning. This is the Neuras relic.
Okay.
Thankfully, it is marked on your map, so it's kind of hard to miss it. So this will let us get our next rank up with Neuras. These are very gated off by the story, though, because they're all in very specific dungeons. And of course, we have way more to actually do here. Now, I believe that just leads back to the beginning. So let's just keep going through. Is that another flower? No, it's a butterfly. Oh, and it's a dead butterfly. Okay.
Right there. Forward.
Dead butterfly. Dead butterfly. Okay, yeah, we got to level up. So yeah, so this means that I'll be able to distribute that point that Will just got the next time he levels up in battle.
All right.
Heisman just sitting there observing. Kind of like, you know, certain party members in Persona 5. They don't quite have as memorable animations when they're doing that, but still. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that all the roads just lead back here. I do like how there's a fairly impressive amount of non-linearity in this dungeon, and I can kill you on the field now.
Yeah, nice work.
I mean, it takes kind of a long time, but still. Also, look at that very suspicious kind of lower poly texture than the rest of this area. Yeah, that's probably going to be openable with a switch. So let's just climb up here. Get ourselves a cushy clay. And I believe that's, yep, that just takes us back to the beginning. So the only place left to explore now is below. And I still only have one of those aromatic, whatchamacallits. Also, there is a red magla crystal in here.
It's all clear.
No, it's not. There's an annoying plant over there. Those plants are like... Of all the things that the item that I need to steal would be on, it would have to be them, wouldn't it? But, yeah, we got more of these guys who are very much field killable right now. Thank you for the support attacks, and thank you so much for dropping Corrosive Acid, because that's going to be, like, I love Corrosive Acid. It gives you access to, like, debuffs no matter what archetype you are, or no matter, who you are in the party. It does kind of devalue the debuff archetype a tiny bit.
There they are.
Also, I'm sorry to interrupt this butterfly party by jumping in and killing you all, but it had to be done. Okay, they're just Falmos.
Stay vigilant.
They are not field killable though, so, you know what? I think this looks like a time for something that I talked about in the Gunner bio. The fact that, like, Gunner really lets you cheese red magma crystals. Because we can just, that's a lot of words, we can just get to back away to a safe-ish distance, lock onto the crystal, and then just shoot the crystal a lot. And now it's gone.
Destroyed the crystal. Thank goodness.
So yeah, Gunner, great for that. Another reason I really like it. Okay, there is a passageway over here. Good thing I remembered that. And yeah, really good thing I remember that, because that is yet another gold beetle. And then we have 2 pathways leading up. This one, just a chest, and yeah. We don't have to worry about the chest just yet. That is for, trust me, I'll tell you when you need to start worrying about chests. So I want to say that just leads back to where we were originally. So let's see what the other pathway heading up is. It's another gelatinous. Oh, I'm on Gunner right now. Honestly, I'm fine with being on Gunner. Especially since you guys don't actually kill me, but, just bonk you with the crossbow over and over again. Oh, new skill on Gunner, not bad. What is the new skill? Aim support, I believe that was. Yeah, we don't get a next one until 10 more ranks. But yeah, let's go back to Seeker. In fact, I should probably swap Heisman back to Merchant for a little bit. Well, almost forgot a chest there. Oh, right! Speaking of which, actually, no, you know what? It's probably best to do that at the start of the next part, because, like, I've already gone pretty deep into this dungeon now. It'd be kind of awkward, but let's just say I did actually miss a chest inside the Great Worm, which is really annoying.
I see the enemy.
Of course, the moment that I switch Heisman back into out of Thief, I'd need Thief again.
Right there.
Okay, I was worried that was going to hit me there.
I'll be taking that.
Okay, Garlic Aromatics number 2.
A halfway decent result.
Nice. I feel strong.
Me being tormented by these flowers will pay off once we get to the Crigante Castle boss, trust me. I'm kind of hoping to grab 4 Garlic Aromatics. Max MP by 2.
What?
I think Will take that. And you know what? I'm going to give that Hero's Leaf of Life to Heisman Merchant, because, yeah, we're very close to having that at the right rank for... In fact, yeah, there it is, Merchant rank 15. I don't think I actually need to use Merchant anymore this dungeon. And by any more, I mean not at all, because I never even use it in a fight. So archetype items are a great way to just give you, like, the levels that you need on certain archetypes without having to actually use them in battle. And for that reason, they are especially convenient, and I will explain the real reason why once anybody hits level 20 in an archetype. Oh, great, not again. Number 3!
You're moving pretty slow. That's dangerous.
I've already attended to that. Thank you, having a healer.
Pays off.
Yeah, we get a lot of items in here that are good for selling, so this is going to be a fairly lucrative dungeon visit, though not quite as lucrative as the other one. And once more, onto the Gunner Breach.
There they are.
Yeah, here we go. Let me just wait and see if these guys come any closer. They might not. Oh no, that's actually a little close for comfort, but nope, they're all dead because I just exploded the crystal itself. So, while I'm here, I had another one of my fantasy monster of the day things to go over. In this case, it is sandworms. Now, I will admit that I am not the most knowledgeable when it comes to sandworms as classic fantasy creatures, because I often see them as, like, enemies in... Yeah, I really need to ambush these guys. I often see them as, like, generic enemies in RPGs, but less so as, like, actual, like, you know, literary devices or metaphors.
I'll be taking that.
And that's the last one I needed.
I continue to grow.
Okay, Hulkenberg's MP is kind of going down a bit. Also want to try and take these things out before I move onward, but I guess while I'm fighting them I can keep talking about this. So, sandworms are a relatively modern creation of fantasy. a lot of people think that they entirely come from the sci-fi novel Dune, which I haven't read. I've not seen any of the movie adaptations of that either. I've heard the new one is good, though it does do that kind of thing that's a bit of a pet peeve of mine and, like, splits up a book into multiple movies where, I mean, maybe in the case of Dune that does work. I've been burned by Hunger Games Mockingjay. Like, Mockingjay did not need to be split in two. Mockingjay Part 1 has, like, almost nothing happen, and to be honest, the most significant things that happen in Mockingjay Part 1, you will immediately know about from the very beginning of Mockingjay Part 2. So, like, you honestly lose nearly nothing by just watching Hunger Games, Catching Fire, and then Mockingjay Part 2. It's just so sad how pointless Mockingjay Part 1 is. Anyway, I didn't mean for that to turn into a rant about Hunger Games movies, but yeah. I think that and, like, Divergent were, like, the main things that actually got people to stop, splitting movies into multiple parts. Yeah, so weapons don't do much, and they call more over and over. Well, that's not exact. I just realized that I forgot to pay the informant for the information on this quest. I guess I'm gonna have to reload and show what that is. Like, I don't strictly need it because I have the guidebook and know the enemy's weaknesses, but I love getting to see them from an in-universe standpoint. Oh yeah, that thing that's a whole thing. I think I just iframed through its fire attack with that. And because you're stunned, I might be able to get you. Let's see. So I think the actual reason why Peerless Stonecleaver didn't do very well against this before is because Elementers are specifically designed so that they have an increased multiplier from weakness damage compared to normal enemies. Most enemies take 1.5 times damage from weaknesses. Elementers, at least this Elementer, takes double damage from its weakness. So you're meant to kill them with their weaknesses, but it's just without the initial preemptive strike damage, the odds of you finishing one off are kind of low, but we do get some nice archetype experience there. And Plunder Life. Now, I'm pretty sure this is magic-based, not physical-based. If it was physical-based, I'd probably know about it. Also, hi there! So, this is another reason why... Good dodge there. This isn't the reason why I brought Wind. Because this is a very strong enemy. It's level 28, but it's weak to wind. It nulls electricity, which is kind of weird because, like, I don't think you'd really be using it that much. Ooh, that's a nice steal for Heismate. Now, does Critical Strike always work if you're stunned? It does. That wasn't a lot of damage for a crit, though. So, yeah, Holgenberg's not exactly in the best position to do a lot of damage to you right now, but you at least can use some wind. And, oh yeah, right, Heismay also has wind. I love it, yeah. You'll probably hear Heismay say Rancor a lot, but Maelstrom's cool too. I guess you'll take a... Actually, let's try a Skullcracker. Yes, indeed, observe the enemy. I want to be healed, because I get the feeling that its counterattack is going to be very, very, very scary. So let's observe that, then I'll go back to my Dune tangent. Oh yeah, it's electricity, that's why it nulls that. I also can use Fire Breath. There's a weakness there. That's not good. Garkande. Okay, well, at least there's a dodge there. The dodge kind of overrides the weakness. So, like, them losing press turns for the dodge is gonna override the fact they gain press turns from hitting a weakness. So, they come out with a net loss of 2 turns. Well, actually, they don't even get the benefit of the extra half press turn, but still. I really, really would appreciate if you died now. Just saying. Well, Stroll says they die hard. Speaking of dying hard, Stroll himself also dies hard for a reason that I think I might actually wait until, like, the next major dungeon to explain, because it's a little too late into this dungeon to go into that now. Okay, thank you, yeah. You'll have to use a lot of resources to get rid of this thing. But that katana that we stole from it, though... Beast Fan Katana... it's not as big of an increase as I thought, but normal attacks inflict poison. This is why I bought some extra medicine at Camaro, though. So I need to use up Hulkenberg's EP on that. So the sandworms in June originally debuted in 1965, and as I said, a lot of people think that that was the first instance of, like, a sandworm as a fantasy creature. The sandworms in June were particularly huge, but, like, yeah, I don't really know very much about June, so I can't really talk a lot about it, but they do work quite similarly to the Great Worm that we were just in the insides of. Actually reminds me a little bit of the Sarlacc in Star Wars as well. I think that was probably, no, that was significantly after the original June novel, so that might have been inspired by it. There's often the idea that they have tremor sense in D&D terms, like they'll be moving below the ground and they can sense when you're above. There's definitely a feeling of terror in that, having something like it's always terrifying being like having something really huge and predatory below you. Like that's also the case with me and some of one of the Shadow of the like the Water Colossus in Shadow of the Colossus is also does yeah, make me terrified in that regard as well. But some people think that, speaking of which, that's a heck of a lot of sandworms. Some people like to think that the sandworms in June are inspired by a cryptid called the Mongolian the Mongolian bloodworm, which is a creature that some people have claimed to have witnessed in the deserts of Mongolia. It is almost certainly not real.
Let us clear this mess.
Tales of the Mongolian, it is in fact the Mongolian deathworm, not the bloodworm, first arrived in the West in 1926, so definitely earlier than June. I hate to keep repeating myself, but I still am not, like, I'm not experienced enough with sandworms to really understand what kind of primal human fear they could represent in popular culture.
Excellent. I've grown more powerful.
I mean, maybe it's just the fact that, like, they're, like, that, you know, worms devour dead corpses, and, like, people often describe people dead as being worm food, and I guess the idea of something that's, like, really big and like eats people, maybe. I honestly, I'm not really sure. The main ones that I do remember are, there's a really big sandworm enemy in Final Fantasy X.
Everyone?
The next one will fall just as easy.
Well, getting very sure of yourself there, Will.
Victory is ours, and safety's not one.
Make sure you take Heistmate's advice. Be neither timid nor arrogant. I think you're leaning a little too far on the arrogant spectrum there. And, speaking of which, the boss is coming up through that door. Gallica's like, I'm sensing a strong demon ahead, be careful. But, like, there's a save point there and a door there, and there's a single room over there, so very clearly, I've got a part of the map that I haven't mapped out, though. Very clearly there's a boss there. I am glad I went in here, because there's a chest.
We found something.
Well.
Quartz mace, and it can be purified at the church. Well, that's actually fitting, because Hulkenberg isn't a healer class right now. Before we save, let's do a bit of setup. I think we all need a solid amount of MP for this, because I'm going to be relying on a lot of synthesis. Seeker is a bad idea, because these bosses use fire. As expensive it is, I'm going to inherit gold attack onto Thief, because using that with Merchant, Merchant's weak to fire too. Okay, so to get the Blizzard combo, we need to use multiple mages, because we don't have access to Mass Dancers or Summoners right now. And they resist all physical, so as sad as it is, I may actually have to go Mage Will here.
Mage!
Hulkenberg has the most magic as a mage, so she'll take the Cooling Staff.
Yep.
Kind of a weird party setup, but let's go. I mean, as I was saying, yeah, there's a giant sandworm enemy in Final Fantasy X that I remember, mostly because you get separated from your party in that desert sequence, and I forget if that thing can eat your party members or if it can eject them from the battlefield. Actually, no, maybe I remember myself using eject on it. Because the sight of Kimari Ronso just kicking the giant sandworm into the horizon just never stopped being hilarious.
Get ready.
That actually reminds me of a time when I was making an RPG Maker game, and I put in a pickaxe in a mine dungeon, and I actually secretly coded the pickaxe as being its own element type that was really effective against rock monsters. So yeah.
Jeez, they're pretty tough. Better be careful.
The Alpha Rockworm Valmos, like most Valmos, are weak against ice, but there's a gimmick to this fight. If you kill one of them but not the other one will summon another one at full health, so you want to kill them both at the same time. Either just focus down one at a time and keep their HPs even, or it's very much like Chariot Injustice in Persona 3 regular, any version of Persona 3. Funny, like, I almost said Final Fantasy and I almost said Fire Emblem. All of those are very wrong. These things do have potential to steal, though, the Damascus Helm. But I think I'm going to chuck money at one of them first. Gold attack, by the way, counts as a ranged attack, so it's not affected by you being in the back row. And now, yes, I want to do some Blizzard combos, and that's why I gave myself, I restored a lot of my magic, with MP recovery items.
Be frozen!
Be frozen. There we go, yeah, 300, and Hulkenberg's Synthesis, Blizzard should deal a little bit more damage, because she has the cooling staff and has a better magic stats. Let's see how much this does. No, only a little bit more damage. Actually, you know what? So, I recommend if you are debuffing them, to debuff them both at the same time. Yeah, I've got enough corrosive acid.
This'll do it.
Because, like, you don't want to have more damage on one but not the other, as I'm kind of doing right now. But okay, yeah, so one debuff on you. And with my final turn, let's put a Blizz on the healthier Valmo. Okay, here we go. Oh, great, this again. Oh great, this again! Well, at least we didn't get a paralysis. Yeah, here's the problem though. Agility debuffs make Synthesis very, very risky, because, if you miss with this, for example, if I miss with the Synthesis, I lose all of my 4 press turns, so it's probably safer to go for just regular Blizzards right now.
Thanks.
Captain, they slowed you down.
Freeze!
You hit their weakness.
Be not now accept your fate.
Let's gold attack. Okay, we did, that dealt some damage too, as the Pokemon Battle Revolution announcement said. Okay, we got that one down to half. Let's focus on the other one a little bit now.
Hulkenberg got them right in their weakness.
Okay, we only have 2 turns left. I may as well gamble it all on a Blizzard here. Let's take Stroll, because he has a little bit more MP. I had a feeling that was going to miss, but again, it was a gamble. Ow.
Let's get him some healing.
You guys really did not like Will. Okay, then. You don't have any, like, of their weaknesses, so you can safely afford to use a revival medicine.
I'll use this.
Okay, they're almost about to lose their debuffs. So hopefully I can take advantage of it while it still lasts. Okay, no miss there. Just carefully lowering their HP. I've seen some, like, works that call it HPs, not HP. And that's technically true, because it is short for hit points, which is plural. Missed. Heisme is very matter of fact. Please, okay. Oh, nice dodge. It's so, why is Stroll dodging all the time? Like, it's, of all the people, like, whenever somebody dodges in this party, it's always Stroll, not Heisme. And I think that's probably, okay, am I still agility debuff? I don't think that I am, actually. So that means I can go back to using, I mean, I could use Garbliz to hit them both at the same time, but no, let's go for a Blizzard with Hulkenberg. There we go. And you'll go for a Blizzard on the other one. Okay. They're getting very, 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 very low. I'm tempted to use another Blizzard. That one has a little bit more, I think. Okay. Yeah, they're getting very low, and I think... No, you go for one heal. Expensive medicine on Will, and then Stroll does one more Blizz. Okay, we should be finished next turn. And of course, they use Sandstorm. And nobody dodged that, which is, yeah, I had a feeling that was dead Heisme. Maybe I just heal.
He knew you'd help.
helpful as ever.
Okay, and then
Stay calm.
I will
Gotta revive him.
revival. I don't think I really entirely need to do this, but I want him to be around to like reap the rewards here. I kinda just wanna like, because I'm concerned that they're gonna just die soon. Because I really don't want to like squander everything right at the end. So let's just heal Heisman. Okay. Yeah, finally Heisman dodged. Okay, that's good. I am still one stack of agility debuff. Not on Heisman though, because Heisman was dead at the time the agility debuff went off. Oh boy. You know what? I am gonna... Nah, I can't afford to use Gubliz, because if that misses, I also lose 4 press turns. So let's just go for slow and steady. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. There we go, there's the immortal line. Oh, they're both so low that I really can't afford to get them to revive each other. Just playing it very safe here. Of course, they might end up using another sandstorm, we'll see. Strong acid is fine. Strong acid is fine. No sandstorm's good, because that means I'm pretty sure we're no longer, yeah, there we go, hit and evade, return to normal. So, now, I have to do this with Stroll, but I can Gubliz them both as a synthesis. Hey, kill both of them, great, okay. So, yeah, I don't know if I could have handled that a little. Maybe the only way I can see myself handling that more efficiently is if I'd had ways to get rid of my agility debuffs, because I like my multi-mage setup there, even with a non-magic will. And yeah, I have 2 points to distribute now, and they're both going into strength. Because of, like, the sheer amount that archetypes will boost stats later on, eventually you will start to see some kind of diminishing returns from, like, stacking everything into one stat build. So you might want to start investing in, like, more things, because, like, having, like, 99 strength is overkill, because, like, the late game strength archetypes will give you, like, 15 strength, so you really only need about 80. But still, that's still a lot. Yeah, tough enough to repel blades. That's why we use that full-on magic setup.
What?
You know, I just realized I should be looking more at Traveler's Voices to see what kind of parties people use to beat these bosses. I feel like most people were probably gonna, I don't know, be similar to me there, using a more magic setup.
Now then.
And yes, the all-devouring she-beast of the Knight's Order strikes again. I think I've got everything. I hope those aren't famous last words. Yes, there's only one gold beetle in this dungeon. Okay, I can report into more. I'm gonna do that tomorrow because, you know, we've already done a lot this part. So, let's return to town and have a nice meal of maybe the sandworms that we just killed. And then tomorrow, it will be time for politics.
Now then.
Because, yes, I'll explain what we're doing tomorrow. And the reason why we needed to, leave several nights in a row free. Stroll, I don't think that's possible. Wanting to, like, eat, like, every single monster that you fight does sound like a very Dungeons & Dragons campaign player behavior.
Somehow.
Well, that and Delicious in Dungeon, which I haven't really seen much of.
Feeling worn out.
Oh yeah, we're also able to rank up Neuros, but we'll see if we end up doing that. So yeah, see you all next time for debating.